Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video I will feature a short clip of Vladimir Putin explaining how the acquisition of Crimea occurred. And as in any issue, any situation, any problem, you would like to gather as much information about the events as well as the chronology of events in order to figure out what actually happened. We are very familiar, I'm guessing, with the narrative provided to us by the operatives in the Western media. Therefore, I'm not going to go and make a summary of that. The only thing is the Russians got to Crimea, got it, they faked a referendum, two of them actually. They made people, vote the way they wanted, and they got illegally the Crimean Peninsula. This is the narrative you're supposed to know. Putin comes out and he says, this is why and how we got Crimea. And remember how Kosovo was created. And Putin explains who he is. And based on who he is, you maybe are able to, for people who are not, maybe able to understand that's the way the world is ran. Very interesting perspective on his duty and his position. All right, so here is the clip. I'm gonna go like this and start it. By the way, this is in front of some German journalists.
Мы не воевали, не оккупировали никого, нигде не стреляли. Ни один человек не погиб в результате событий в Крыму. Ни один. Значит, мы использовали вооруженные силы только для того, чтобы сдержать находившихся там военнослужащих Украины от вмешательства в свободное волеизъявление людей, которые там проживали. Люди пришли на референдум и проголосовали. И они захотели быть в составе России.
Решение США и Европы не признавать результаты крымского референдума Владимир Путин считает очередным проявлением двойных стандартов. Ведь, например, для признания независимости Косово оказалось достаточно решения парламента, и никто на Западе тогда не говорил о нарушении международного права. Поэтому, по словам президента, для того, чтобы построить нормальные отношения, нужно соблюдать простые условия, уважать интересы друг друга и не пытаться менять правила всякий раз, когда это кажется выгодным.
Вы меня спросили, ваш покорный слуга друг или не друг? Отношения между государствами немножко строятся по-другому, не как отношения между людьми. Я не друг, и не невеста, и не жених. Я президент Российской Федерации. 146 миллионов человек. У этих людей есть свои интересы, и я обязан их отстаивать. И мы готовы это делать не конфронтационно, мы готовы искать компромисс. Ну, конечно, на базе международного права, единообразно всеми понимать.
All right, well, this is what he claims to be. He claims to be the president of the Russian Federation, and that's what it is. Regarding the Crimean Peninsula, he said, well, we went over there and we safeguard the Ukrainian population over there, the people who were possibly under the attack from the Ukrainian army. Now, obviously, this is his interpretation of facts, but I don't remember being any shots fired. Why? Because the Ukrainian army was told to stand down. This is the first part. The second one, he explains that he is the president of the Russian Federation. Very important over there, he said, this is not a relationship like it's created between people. So that's very interesting. So he said, relations between states are not built in quite the same manner as they're built between people. And then his point is, I am the guy who represents these people, their interests. You are the guy who represents your people and their interests. That's it. So he sees it from a position of cold relationship based on interest, survival interest. Survival. We're not here to make friends. We're not here to to have a little party, and that's it. If you see in the faces of the German, whatever they were, journalists, did not say anything. Now this was right after, was more than 8 years ago, this interview, when these guys were still coming in a, how should I put it, in a nice way and asking questions. Sometimes direct questions, which is fine as long as you are not rude. It's fine to press the person that you want to find out what the hell happened. You have to, ask questions that might make the person uncomfortable. Obviously, that's how you find the truth. Because if you ask only the questions who are nice and mild, without the risk of maybe insulting the other person, you're not going to find the truth. You say, I'm not going to ask this person this question because that person might be offended. Then you don't ask it, you're not going to find out what the other person says. My point is this. This is the Russian version of the Crimean Peninsula. And it's the same version of their Donbass they have. These guys say, okay, you got in and you took it. Well, at least these guys conducted referenda. The other guys in Kosovo did not. Now, I don't think it would have been a different outcome in Kosovo if the people in the territory of Serbia, in Kosovo, would have been allowed to vote. I think it would have been the same 99 or whatever percent. There are some Serbs over there, but even they would be shown that they voted to join Kosovo, and Kosovo to be independent. I guarantee you that. Why? If you think that the elections are really as they say they are, when the interests are clear, you know the answer. Look what these guys are doing in Europe right now. They don't even let people vote for the candidates. They disqualify the candidates altogether from the get-go. And you can't do it. And guess what's going to happen? By the time you try to go and say, well, I disagree with the court's decision, the elections are going to be held, and it's going to be too late. You're going to be cleared after the elections are already won by the right people. And he said, I'm not your friend, I'm not your groom, I'm not here to make friends, I'm just representing these guys and their interests. A country that really you have to look into and hold any other country responsible, accountable to their deeds based on this value, and that's Israel. If any country on this planet would be allowed to act like Israel defends its interests, then we're going to have an atomic bomb dropped tomorrow. Why? Well, just pay attention. Pay attention. Israel looks for its interest exactly how Putin said. No friends, no nothing, no, it's just our nation's interest. We're going to do whatever we need to do. Even we're going to send you some pagers, and we're going to, whomever has the pager, that doesn't really matter. Imagine Putin or Russia would have done that with the pagers. You know the story, right? And they're all celebrated. Netanyahu sends those little golden pagers, gave one to Trump, gave one with Fetterman, the guy from, I think, Pennsylvania. He is a senator, can you imagine that? He visited Jerusalem, or whatever he was, not Jerusalem, Tel Aviv. And he was given by Netanyahu with a pager. It's fantastic. They consider that fantastic. As they consider, for instance, the Purim fantastic. Or they consider the Passover fantastic. So go and see who died during the Passover. Or go and see what happened in Purim, the purification of exactly what. But they are celebrating this. Those are all mass. And everybody, oh my God, look at that. That's their celebration. That, the holy day of whatever. The same here. No, we're going to do what is in our interest. The problem is we have some moral judges somewhere. They always point fingers, but they don't look at their behavior. Like Kosovo is the clearest example. Kosovo. All right, my friends. Here it is. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.